In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the JND487 Celtic frame, or Celtic frame, along with the JND487 Deco frame, and the JND489 Georgian frame, all together to make perfect, beautiful multi-layer frames for any of your projects. And just using the 3 frame maker dies from these sets can give you an absolutely beautiful set frame. So we're going to make a card just like this, but you can see we go black and white, and then we have this beautiful inner level of white, and it fits exactly, and that's because we've used a combination of all 3. If we just use 2 frames like this, we get this perfect here where you get this lovely pop of yellow either side because the sizing has been done for you. Or like this where we go with the grey and into another layer of grey, just using again the Deco frame and the Celtic frame together. So I want to do those, and it's a very, very simple process. All I'm actually going to use for this are the outer dies from all 3. So I'm going to start with the colour I want primarily, and that will be from the smaller frame, which is from JND487 Celtic frame. And you will simply cut that on a piece of card, and I've cut this in white, and that gives me the perfect mitered frame. You get that little mitre on each side, depending on each corner, depending on how much pressure there is in your machine. I then switch up to using the larger frame, which is the 487 Deco frame. And as you can see, if I put the die on, it gives you an outline either side. So this time, all I've done is cut this in black. And that gives me, again, beautiful 4 mitered corners, but a perfect 6" by 4" aperture. And this size is 5 3/4. So you've got 5 3/4 by sort of a 4 1/4 in the middle, giving you this perfect 1/8 of an inch all the way round. The final piece is if we cut the frame maker, and I've got this already set for another demo, so just the frame maker on its own without these panels. And this is coming from the 489 Georgian frame. And if we cut that in a contrasting colour or again in white, you'll notice that this will stack on top of the white to give us a sort of frame coming up. But if we stack that underneath, we can go black to white with a perfect white edge in the middle and nothing popping out either side. Using the combination of 3 is really, really useful for this. So I've got my 3 frames cut, and that's basically the simple fact of all we need to do. So I've added some foam tape on the back of each one, and this one I'm using again a 2mm foam tape, so you can use this or use the new Craft Artist 2mm foam, which works just as well. And that will give you onto the black a perfect 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. I've then put foam tape on the back of the black again at 2mm, gives me the right level of sort of shadow without going too far. And I can simply then, and it's best to do this top down, take my Georgian frame, put it in the right place and stick it down. You can see there, I get a perfectly neat area all the way around the outside. Nothing can overhang, but I get that treble frame. So to make up our card, I've got here just a piece of coconut white card that I have embossed with the Argyle print 3D embossing folder from John Next Door. I'm simply again going to add a little bit of foam tape onto here, and what I do when I'm framing it is you want to put that around the centre. So you don't want it to be too near the edge, you want it to be running really through the centre line of each. And the fantastic thing about framing is that you don't have to worry about what it looks like on the back, because the frame will cover it all so neatly on the front. So this could be framing a stamped image, some paper that you've bought. It would look beautiful with some decoupage sheets. Anything really looks better when it's framed. It really finishes off a piece of work. So again, I'm going to go top down onto my pattern, and I can match to make sure I'm happy that my pattern is the same on both sides. And I'm just simply going to stick that down. You can see there I've got perfectly framed, beautiful piece. I've got a card blank here, and the card blank is 6 by 6. And that means that this framed piece will fit on exactly. This isn't a commercial card, this is one I've made because commercial card blanks are 5 3/4. But this way you can see it fits on exactly. All I'm seeing is if it's a picture frame, so no mats and layers anywhere. Works exactly right, and you know, completely neat. And I'm simply then just going to decorate this with some flowers and leaves. So I've cut 3 flowers out using the stitched daisy, and I've got the shadow leaves here as well. So I'm simply going to add these on, turn those onto their back, and I just pop a little bit of glue onto each leaf. I find that's the easiest and best way to glue them. Then they're not all completely flat and glued down. You get that little bit of movement. So I'm going to have that coming from one side and out onto the frame, and the same at the other side. So it kind of comes out. That's what the frames do. They create you a beautiful piece. We're simply then going to add, using the Craft Artist Super Tacky glue, I'm going to add my little collection of 3 flowers. You could add a sentiment or anything else you want onto this, but you've got a very quick and easy, with just 3 cuts, a framed piece, add the flowers on, 5 cuts, and we've made that card, and it's absolutely framed perfectly. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not visit the Crafting with John next door and Crafts2 group on Facebook. Enjoy.